My last and final favorite thing to do in Photoshop, which is what our project in this class will revolve around, is creating actions. Actions are really great from anything from editing photography to just doing a thing that you do in Photoshop a lot repeatedly. What actions are there a way for you to record your actions that you're doing in Photoshop? That can be anything. Brush strokes, cropping, adding filters, adding layer styles, adding blending modes, and recording them and then playing them back again and again and again and saving them so that you can play them back. That might not make much sense to you right now, but I will be showing you how to do that, and I'm going to make it a little bit easier for you to understand. Okay, let's first start out by opening our Actions window. So let's go to Window, Actions. Now these are our default actions. If we click on this little triangle of dots here, I can make this larger. These are our default actions that are already saved in Photoshop, but we're going to create a new one, okay? So let's first start out by taking a look at what we're seeing here. We have a stop, record, play button, as well as a new button and then a group button, okay? And a trash can, of course. You're kind of familiar with these actions, right? Okay, so I'm going to show you my favorite photo editing action, and I'll show you how I create that action. First, we need to copy our background layer. We do so by dragging this to the new layer, and now we have a copy, okay? And then we need to create a new action, okay? So let's do create new action. Let's call this interior photography edit. The last thing we need to do to record our action is to just get going and start recording our actions. So it is recording now. I pressed record. So let's show you how I edit my interior photographs. Okay, the first step I do is always I like to do these black and white cookie layer adjustment styles. So I click on the black and white cookie, and let's start off by doing some levels. Okay, so this line here, you see the spike in your levels, that's at the point of where your photo is going to be overexposed. So you never want to bring this point past that arc, okay? But I do like to make my interior photos as bright as they possibly can be without being overexposed. So I like to move this right arrow all the way over until it reaches that peak, right about there, okay? And then the other two, I generally like to keep where they are. I just like to make it much brighter, okay? So then I will minimize this and move on to the next adjustment layer, which is curves, okay? So you remember this from before, one of our previous classes. This can be pretty finicky. And I like to just subtly move the curves around until I get it to a point of where I really like it. And again, I really like bright photography for interiors. It's up to you how you like to edit your photos, but this is just for showing you how I record my actions. Okay, so we're still recording, as you see over here in our actions window. And let's keep going. The next step is for me to add some contrast. So I'll go to brightness and contrast and then bump up the contrast so that the darks are a little bit darker and the lights are a little bit lighter. Perfect. Next, I will add a little bit of vibrance, just a touch of vibrance into the mix. And there we go. That is my photo editing repertoire. Those are the steps I always take for editing interior photos, and I'm still recording. So at any time I can stop and it will be good. So this is the end of my steps. So I'm going to stop this. So now I have it saved. It's called interior photography. I have it saved down here. I can apply this action to anything else I want to in the future. All right, so I'm going to open up another photo. Let's go File, Open. I'll find my photo over here on my desktop, Image 2. Open that up. Okay, look, it looks horrible and unedited. Okay, but I just need to go into my actions, find my interior photography action, and press play, and now let's watch what happens. Just like that, my photo is edited already, and look, it applied everything from each of those steps to my photo. So now, what I would normally do is go back in and refine from here. For instance, I would up the contrast just a little bit on this one, and to edit these adjustment layers, all you do is double click on the black and white cookie and it brings up the editor for each of them. And it's just so nice to be able to create actions. And so if you find yourself cropping a lot or adjusting the size of something a lot, you will definitely want to use actions. They are such a time saver. So for your final project, I really just want you to create any kind of action on your own and show me what things look like applied before and after the action. You can figure out on your own how you want to show me that. It can look like mine, the example I gave you on the info front page for the class, or it can look like anything you want it to. I just want to see what your actions look like and how you're using them. I can't wait to see what they look like. If you have any questions along the way, please feel free to put it into the class Q&A discussion feed, and I'll try to take a look at those and answer them whenever I can. I'm not technically supposed to answer your questions, but I do like to keep an eye on them. If you know the answer to a student's question, please feel free to hop in there and answer the question for them. They will be so thankful for you helping them out. All right, excited to see your actions, everybody. Thank you so much for taking this series of classes, and I hope that you continue to enjoy Photoshop in the future.